I Have a Crush at Work is an average but still enjoyable fluffy rom-com. So for my third of the first impression reviews that I'm doing for this season, we have I Have a Crush at Work / Can You Keep a Secret? A short summary for this one is that Yui Mitsuya and Masugu Tataishi are co-workers in different apartments, but for the same company, who are dating, but they wanted to keep it a secret. Funnily enough, this is kind of the opposite premise of one of my favorites of last season, 365 Days to the Wedding. Check out that one if you're interested, and also again, like fluffy rom-coms featuring adults. I went with the show hoping that it would also give me my romance fix, specifically featuring adult characters, because that's where I would prefer. At this point in my life, I'd prefer adult characters when it comes to things like romance. This time, they have a real relationship that they want to keep hidden, rather than a fake relationship that they want people to know about. As of the first 3 episodes, I can say that it accomplishes this enough to be enjoyable and worth continuing. It's a decent but very average rom-com. There's nothing novel or noteworthy here that you can't find in others, but it does succeed at being a fluffy rom-com and giving you what you would expect from the premise. So, quick thing, if this is your first time seeing a first impression of mine, for these I give my thoughts on an anime airing during the current season based on the first 3 episodes. There won't be much spoilers for specific scenes, but I do get into the general themes and trends of the show, as well as discussing the characters. And please do keep in mind that first impressions are just that, first impressions. So based on how average and straightforward the show is, I honestly don't have a lot to say that isn't getting too into specifics, but I'll do the best I can to talk about what little things I do have to say, such as that one compliment I can give is that the male lead has at least enough personality so far to not truly feel like a piece of cardboard. Seinen romances can often be unbalanced between the leads, leaning more towards just the female character being the attractive one who actually has interesting traits, feelings, conflicts, etc., while the male main character takes on more of a direct self-insert role, or has little personality of their own, really just being a decent, nice human being who just reacts to the love interest. I decided I will not be doing a first impressions of it, and I'm planning to do a full review on it instead of Welcome to Japan Miss Elf, which feels like a worser example for this. At least based on the first 3 episodes, I think Masugu is a better character. He's not exactly interesting, but he doesn't feel entirely flat and lifeless. He has identifiable interests and desires for the relationship, and he actually has things that make him seem like, someone could actually want to be in a relationship with. Again, this is just based off 3 episodes, but I didn't think Yui, the other main character, is anything great either, but she also has more presence than he does, and I would call pretty cute. I won't go at length here, because that is pretty normal for this type of show though. Part of what makes them work well and better than other shows, like the actual, the more poorly written ones that I'm kind of poking fun at here, is that it's made a concerted effort, even just in these 3 episodes, to reveal how both of them are vital and appreciated members of their departments, and they bring something to the table as a significant other. Both of them have value in their station and in their relationship. This helps the balance a lot more and lets you feel more invested in both of them. There are some solid moments of genuine passion between them as well, which is nice and can feel lacking with romances sometimes. As characters, I can't go as far as to say I have much feelings towards them, but I don't think either are so bad that it hurts the show's ability to be an enjoyable romance. And maybe it might sound like I'm being very harsh for the first 3 episodes, but I do think 3 episodes is a decent judgment for whether you'll like a show or not, and to decide if you should continue with it. If you can't impress someone in 3 episodes and really show your strengths, then I think the show is not very well written, to be honest. But you can show a lot with characters in their first 3 episodes. Like with Flower and Asura, which I also did a first impression on, I think those characters stood out really well in those first 3 episodes. This one does not do as well as that, but it's also not at the absolute worst end either. I don't consider myself to have especially high standards with this type of show, though. When it comes to the fluffy romances and stuff like that, I think everyone has a type of series that they can enjoy through a wider range of quality, like a comfort food kind of show. Wholesome shows are mine. If a show can provide me with a cute and sweet taste, I'm usually happy enough. And if you have any of those types of like comfort food type shows, I'm totally happy to hear what other people have. I'm really curious to hear people's opinions on that. But what does make me feel some concern is if this is going anywhere interesting. With 365 days to the wedding, early on, they set up some of the legit emotional issues that the characters have and had the premise feel like more, like the general premise, feel like more of a threat to their well-being. While here, I don't see anything like that so far. It is very light, with it not feeling like anything would really happen if they got found out. So the premise itself, I don't have as much investment here as I did in 365 days to the wedding. While it does hurt my ability to get immersed, I do still think that it's enjoyable, but I wish I was more invested by this point. I do have some concern that if it doesn't introduce anything compelling with the characters, this one seems like it could end up fizzling out and getting boring. But for someone like me, as long as it continues to give me the wholesome fix that I'm always looking for, I'll probably stick with it until it's done. But for me to truly get into it, you gotta give me some compelling drama and characterization to work with, like other slice of life and romances tend to do, or go above and beyond with the fun and endearing characters, something like Cute Girls Do Cute Things tend to do. From a production standpoint, the show is also very average. The art, voice acting, and music, it's all just like fine. The animation can be a bit stiff, but nothing terrible. Again, nothing that I can say is worth going out of your way for. There are some pretty funny shots and expressions though. Those can be nice, but again, there's nothing exemplary here when it comes to like the production value. So to conclude, if you're a frequent enjoyer of comfy shows and light romances, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't enjoy this one, based on what I've seen so far. Both of the main characters have enough personality and traits for them to be likable, and as a couple have some moments of genuinely good chemistry. It succeeds at being cute and funny with the situations that come about thanks to the main premise, though it does feel like it could end up being stagnant. If you don't mind it being very simple and straightforward, then there's not really any problem. But there's been nothing especially great or novel. So if you have higher standards or are looking for something more unique, I think this is one that you could pass over. To bring 365 Days to the Wedding up one more time, because I just really love it, I would recommend it far more than this one. If you didn't see that and are looking for that sort of fluffy romance, I would go with that. Both of the main characters to me are far greater than Yui and Masugu, and with its premise and themes, it brings a lot more to the table. And that includes just, obviously, I'm being fair and just comparing 3 episodes to 3 episodes. It does have a bit of that aforementioned imperfect balance early on, but the male lead was still a character that I truly liked at that point, much more so than Masugu, or the main character of Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf, which again, I will talk about later. I'm planning to. And I still want to get back to 365 Days to the Wedding for an analysis, where I go more in depth into things when I have the time, because I am a huge fan. Sorry to end this one off recommending another show. I am being fairly kind of more down on this show, but I'm not saying it's bad. I hope I've made it clear that I do still think this is an enjoyable show. It's just not one that I'm going to go around saying, oh, you got to check this one out. So if you are looking for one of these shows, I would say go to 365 Days to the Wedding first, if you haven't seen that. But this is a solid, comfy romance. And with that, I will bring it to the end. Thank you very much for watching. Please check out my website, where I post write-ups of these most of my videos that I make are based on those, and sometimes they go up concurrently, but sometimes things will be on my website first, and there's some exclusive things on my website, like chapter reviews for mangas. Right now, I have Amori and Bocchi the Rock that I'm concurrently following. And yeah, so if you want to see more from me, please subscribe, like, blah, blah, blah. And thank you very much.